the Crocodilius niloticus, the Nile crocodile. I saw him this morning, but I haven't seen him today. Well, there's always that very, very silly assumption which I just made, which I said, but I don't actually believe, is that there's one crocodile in this dam. There's probably multiple crocodiles in this dam. See, the hippo was laughing at me, guys. There's more than one. He's not out of the water at the moment. There we go, they're the hippopotami. Now, I'll tell you a story about people making silly assumptions about crocodiles and water. I'm not going to say where, but it wasn't too far from where we're sitting now. Oh, listen to that. That is a sound that is synonymous with Africa. There's that one there. Come, Dave, give us a hippo impression. The great jokers of the bush, according to them Bogush, people of the Okavango Delta. Now, David was wondering whether hippopotamus females stay with their natal group. Now, I think some people call it a raft. I mean, some people call it a pod, but the correct is a raft. And Lawrence was also wondering about that. And they do generally, but it all depends on water availability in males. Sometimes they will split from their natal pod. A little bit less likely here, but in areas like the Okavango and the South Luangwa and at places like that where you've got incredibly high hippo densities, they can move from their natal areas. Now, I was telling you the story about the Nile crocodile, and it was in a reserve a little bit to the north of us. And every now and again, you meet some interesting characters out in the bush. They generally wear cut-off khaki shirts. They buy a brand new khaki shirt. They'll rub it in the dirt, and then drive over it, drag it behind the car a few times, then cut off the sleeves. And of course, generally they die quite young. If not, they die of skin cancer. But there was one particular gentleman and such, and also normally you find such gentlemen with a large caliber firearm, something like a 450 Magnum revolver that is pretty useless but looks impressive out in the bush, attached to the side, generally a Bowie knife that is more of a panga than a knife, attached to the other side. And the hippos. And luckily for this said hero, let's call him a hero. Oh, hello, babies. Look at the babies playing. Isn't that cute? Sorry, guys, I just heard something. That guinea fowl alarm calling it something. Let's see, look at this. Well, there's an impala there. He's looking in the same direction, but he's not snorting. I'll keep an eye on there. But this is always a good time of the day to come to a waterhole that's got hippos, because they do start getting a bit active, start harumphing, I think is the best description of a hippo's call. Guinea fowls are fighting amongst each other. But I was telling you about the said brave individual with 357 Magnum revolver, knife/machete. Generally, you will find some form of teeth on a necklace around and some form of animal skin in their hat. And they will generally tell you everything you want to know about the bush. And about how everything's going to eat you, and they're the only one that can protect you out in said environment. And this particular one was impressing some ladies, and he went up to a waterhole, and he went, "There's one crocodile, you can see it. Watch this." Off comes shirt, revealing pasty white body with burnt arms and chest, and starts swimming through the water. and the one crocodile was there on the other side. There's only one croc here, don't worry. Of course, there was more than one crocodile, and he had to have his arm amputated. So, as I say, the bush is not a dangerous place if you treat it with respect. And generally, those type of characters don't last too long. You generally end up picking them up off the floor or out of trees after they've had an altercation with an elephant, or sifting for teeth in lion feces after they've decided to do a night walk. But fortunately, they seem to be a dying breed.